Well then, it's all come down to this one. The FC Pro World Championship Grand Final. And ages there for you to go and claim that title as a world champion.
And look at those pods as well. The first time someone stepped into those pods.
And the last time for this season in Berlin. They are only being used for this grand final matchup. It's so crazy as well to think Anders Vejrgang got his spot in this World Championship all the way back in early February for the FC Pro Open Finals, where he did lose in that grand final to PH in. It's crazy to say that he didn't even make it into this stage in the top 16, but then since then, Richard,
he's improved so much since then.
Massively.
He's changed his game. He's not just hitting step-overs and looking for
the ball into the striker.
His way of playing. Yeah. He's playing a greater meta. He's got a couple of aerial plus players in the box. Since Anders learned corners, we saw it. We saw those first corners coming in that he started hitting. He has took his game to another level.
Well, Yuval, why not keep on knocking out the big names here? This is the big one. This is the last match of the season, but the biggest match of the year. The FC Pro World Championship Grand Final. Anders Vejrgang against Yuval for $250,000. And to be the first name to write yourself into the history books for this FC Pro ecosystem as a world champion. Will be Anders kicking us off from left to right here in that traditional RB Leipzig strip. How early is he going to kick off this final? He was an early start in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of goals. Not just one of them, but two of them in the first 10 minutes. It's all about the start here from Yuval. It's all about him. In simple words, scoring first.
Scoring first and staying alive. We've seen that number of players earlier today. Hezes, Sharif. Early on, it was almost over just because of the blistering start from Anders.
I remember in 2019, we're in that grand final. Mo Alba, the player who we didn't expect potentially be there against Emes Desari.
Be careful, Van Dijk. Oh no, might pick it up Van Dijk once and twice. Well,
and it was in those situations where Mo took his shot. We didn't expect it, and he beat one of the best to ever do it. It's one game, it's 18 minutes.
And then it's crazy to think, Rich, Umit here as well, part of our broadcast team. He had a 0-0 World Championship Grand Final that went to penalties. We can see the live poll coming in. Yuval with quite a back in there as well. I mean, there's a lot of Anders Vejrgang fans in there that think of how he's played. Remember, 7-2 victory in the quarterfinal, 6-0 win in the semi-final.
I know it's only 10 minutes, but I think Yuval started quite well here. A couple of chances where he's defended well. And spoken to a lot of pro players before coming into this semi-final stages. How do you get anything against Anders? How do you get any change out of him? Possession. Try and boss the ball. Look for 60% if you can.
And the only player that really made it difficult for a lengthy period of time was Johnny in that round of 16 game yesterday. And even that was goalless just to about 35 minutes. Here comes Anders now. Konate. It's a brave pass there that somehow goes through the legs of Mbappe. That could have been a terrible pass to forget. That could also be a mistake. Saka does actually beat Hully in the air, believe it or not. Back himself, but does keep possession. Couple of step overs. Weghorst eventually loses possession to Konate. Keep an eye on Bukayo Saka on this far-hand side as he looks to build up into his first attack. Into Mbappe. Could be an opening goal. It will be. 15 minutes. It's all it's taken for Anders to get his first goal in this grand final.
It's special. As you said, played to Saka. The ball roll inside. Mbappe. Green timed it near post. You wait for the goalkeeper movement. Just that little second, the split second of waiting for the keeper movement. See how much it means to his mum in the crowd as well.
I was just about to say, with the patience inside the box, he never really panics.
No,
he's very composed. He'll wait for the keeper movement. If there's no keeper movement, he backs himself to always dream.
Goal for the hosts, number 10, Kylian Mbappe.
Saka with another assist. Another goal or assist for him. He's been
his best player, honestly.
Player, yeah. it's having an attacking player who can also be so versatile across the pitch.
Saka on the opposite end. Not able to perform the same. It was just that pass there. When you get past the fullback and you just suddenly get into that situation between the left centre-back and the fullback, and there's so much space, you are forced into moving a goalkeeper, you're forced into just delaying the chance. As Anders looks to come forward for a second, Mbappe step overs are pretty. Arno will still pick up the pieces. He step overs back into Van Dijk again. 2 moments there of good defending, Ryan.
Yeah, great defending. He had to make sure and pick his moment to try and step forward. Anders doing really well there with the creative runs to trigger plays into the position he wants.
I was just about to say on the first one, before he stepped in, he looked a little bit hesitant.
Yeah.
After going 1-0 down, but he showed 2 good opportunities there. He looks just a little bit shy going forward, though. And it's probably the fact that you know that if you lose possession, you've got a chance coming the other way.
He's got to back himself, Yuval, though. We saw him in moments in the Euros where, in the final third, he was deadly. Some of the combinations of skill moves he was able to build. But you are right, you can certainly feel the nerves of what is on the line here. Saka, finesse! Green!
And again, he's showed you that he can pass the ball, he's showed you that he can play at the near post or play inside, but he's also this Bukayo Saka item.
Just look here,
he's got a finesse in his locker, and he just stood way too off him. He got too far off him.
He's a little bit passive there with Van Dijk, but again, you're sort of worrying about the run from R9, maybe another overlap you have to try and pay attention to, but just twisting and turning. Of course, green time finishing Anders as always.
And this is where you find yourself in a really horrible position, Rich.
We said, what, first 20, 30 minutes is where this game's going to be won or lost. You have to stop that early onslaught. And what I like here is a pause coming in from Yuval, because he's clearly, this isn't working for me. He's paused, he's made changes, and Anders is just taking the time that he's been allowed to. Just having a little look actually at what he's up against now. Assessing the Yuval subs and tactical swaps. That's what they're playing for.
A very special trophy. It'll be the first hands on it in FC Pro history. It really is, I hate to say, it's deja vu from what we saw in pretty much all of his games in terms of this start.
Would you go on to say, Ryan, that the game is potentially won or lost in that pause? 2-0, 25 minutes. If Yuval didn't pause the game there and just let this play on, we saw what he did to Jesus earlier on today, where we were demanding a pause backstage. We were watching, say, pause the game, Jesus.
You see how much it impacts Yuval's performance.
2-0 if you have just tuned in our grand final of the FC Pro World Championship. And there's Vejrgang leading. And just today, a total of 15 goals scored with 2 conceded. He has been relentless as he looks to continue that. Next goal is so crucial, whichever way it comes. It will really tell where this is going to go.
Every time he goes forward, every single time, it looks like he's going to score.
And Yuval will know that. Yuval will feel that.
And that's where you start to feel the pressure of not wanting to lose possession, because you start to become fearful that if you do lose it, situations like this can happen. Anders on the attack.
Davies goes wonders. One more pass into Ole. What a tackle that is.
Massive challenge.
That could have gone so wrong.
Wow.
He's got a concrete blanket on him right now, Yuval. He simply cannot get out.
Can't even move the ball either. So very much in control here, Anders Vejrgang. As he looks to come forward again with another wave of deadly pressure. Haaland! Corner. You know what's coming.
bit of an outswinger.
Quick corner take a change, and a late flick on of someone in the box. Expect that to be one man.
It's a goal.
Erling Haaland. He misses him completely. Instead, tries to go to Van Dijk, or
I don't think it's going to be a goal. That's what I said.
Just dispossessed him
Press
again. Can't get the ball, let alone keep it. Saka, R9.
Oh.
Schmeichel just about hangs in the balance to keep Yuval alive. Quick corner. There's Haaland. There's the flick on. 3-0.
I wasn't wrong. I was just early on the corners.
Wow.
And we said backstage as well, because to concede first, Yuval, these could get very much one-sided.
We're witnessing greatness. I'll be honest, there's somebody that, Rich, we know very well. We've seen and we've spoken about Anders behind the scenes, and we said the moment Anders starts to adapt a little bit and bring in the meta things into his gameplay, like the crossing, like the corners, it's
curtains.
It's over for everybody that's up against him.
He's 3-0 up. It feels like 13. Yuval has not got out of his own half in this opening 37 minutes. He's not laid a glove on Anders.
Trying to restore some sort of hope is Yuval.
Great build up.
Ronaldinho, one goal would be big. Is there a shot of R9 there, Ryan, or was the idea right?
The idea, what I think was right, it slightly got a bit congested in there, obviously, as he built up. Bodies behind the ball for Anders. And of course, Yuval strikers and attackers in the same areas. Anders on the attack straight away, though.
Surely not goal number 4, overlap. Mbappe. Bukayo Saka!
Wow.
Woo. This is a grand final for $250,000. And he's just running away.
For those at home, I know he's 4-0 up here. We'll see the goal quickly. Saka into Mbappe, the dribbling, twisting and turning, back to Saka. He baited that little pass. You see the R9 right
so
there.
Many traps.
Exactly,
That's the thing.
Perfect. So many traps, as you said. It looks like he's 4-0 up against any ordinary player. We're witnessing an unbelievable performance.
Every time that he attacks, especially with Saka, because he's so two-footed, and he can finesse, he can pass. Every time that he gets in those areas, you're thinking, okay, he's shown me that he's got a finesse in the locker, he's shown me that he's got a pass in the locker.
So now you're having to watch 2, 3, 4, 5 different things. And
the technical dribble right through the gap, green time shot, it's always going to be green.
It's special.
We're watching a master right now.
And
he's mastered the game.
It's always been a matter of time, Richard, as well, since this was coming. Before he was going to get the opportunity to show the world just how good he is.
Look at the press again.
He's dismantling Yuval.
Going to get the last attack.
Surely not 5 before the break. Mbappe into R9. He won't be happy with that one.
My goodness.
You'd have expected goal 5 there.
It's got a corner though.
Save.
He scored from his last one, but he scored from this one. Yes, he will! He is on a different planet right now. $5-0 by half-time.
It was over from when Toni Kroos in front of Konate got into the space between them. This is flawless.
A perfect 45 minutes. Come new indeed.
Well, half-time here, Anders Vejrgang leads 5-0 in the FC Pro World Championship Grand Final.
Ordinary player, we're seeing he's doing it against Yuval, who's defeated Nicholas, defeated Manu, defeated Emre, and he's making it look so easy.
When you got the opportunity to go and spend some time with him recently, Brandon, over in Germany and sort of seeing him behind the scenes, did you feel as though this was coming? Did you feel like they were building towards something?
I think he's one of those players, Rich. So you ask him, you know, people say you're the best in the world. You're the best in the world, and he says, well, look, if I win that World Championship, no one can question it.
Whenever you ask him as well, normally in tournaments, you say, are you going to win it? He says, no, I will choke, I will choke. What he's been saying this week is, yeah, I feel good.
I think what gave him confidence, though, is the names that he respected were eliminated early.
And knocked Johnny out.
Yep, that was a big boost of confidence. Yep.
Ronaldo. Mbappe, 6-0. This is getting out of hand. He's on his way into the history books if he wasn't already.
It's simple. Right passes, doesn't even need to green it. Hits it across the face of goal, Mbappe. Anders knows this job done. It's unbelievable, I'll be honest. The way he's just dismantling Yuval, like, it's... Wow.
But back on the point of what you were saying as well, I had the chance to spend a few days with Anders Vejrgang a few months ago, especially just being in his home environment around his mum as well. And like the clear message always was that he knew he had a talent for this game many, many years ago. 11 years of age he was, playing in shopping malls around Denmark. As I said, was winning controllers, PlayStation headsets. And he just said, look, I just honed in on my talent, I honed in on my skill. There's a lot of sacrifices along the way. And all those years of hard work, all those years of practice, Rich, is just building up here.
It's not always been this for him.
No.
2022 with Denmark, got knocked out.
Even more recently, FC Pro Open.
FC Pro Open, losing the last kick of the game. Last year, when we were in Riyadh, didn't go to plan for him. And it is just emphatic. And I think the question that you probably take from this performance, look, he's going to win this game, into FC 25, into next year's Pro Open and into next year's World Championships. This is the benchmark. Who is going to step up? We've seen people defeat him this year. PhD.
Yep.
We've seen people get close to him at Team Hullet. We've seen him defeated. Levi Finn, Virtual Bundesliga. We saw him lose that game.
That's the only time where I've seen him perform well below
turning point.
Yeah, well below expectation, and Levi Finn was insane that game, dominated him. I know it was 3-2 on the scoreline, but it was a perfect performance. And as you said, that might have been the catalyst for Anders just to push on that extra gear, and now look at him.
(6-0) before the 50th minute. Yuval can't claw anything back at this point. It's such a good tournament, but it's just hard to build a narrative when you're up against a player that's just this good. He just doesn't give you a chance.
You agree with that from Leon Kingsley? Everyone should agree. When Anders playing in this mode, no one gets close.
That question to me, Rich.
It is.
I agree wholeheartedly. I think Umut says it as well. He knows him very, very well. Saka couldn't get the pass into R9. When he plays like this, it's spectacular. You can't stop him.
Anders fulfilling his potential, and he's still got a lot more to give from.
It's A-Man as well, out in
Yeah.
Malaysia. Great to see him tuning into the broadcast today as well. Again, we'll keep on honing at home. He's 18 years of age. With this win here, 600k in prize earnings.
Should be a pen, that one.
Yeah.
Simply just cannot question his ability anymore.
This was a potential. You've seen it from the results in the previous rounds. And it was all on the, we said it's all in the first 30 minutes, the first 35. If Yuval can keep it close, can keep it tight, just like PhD did. Whenever Anders scored, PhD instantly replied.
Away. Yeah.
If you let him get that head of steam, he's a train that the brakes are off. There is no stopping.
It was only, what, less than a week ago when he won the Euros, his first individual major trophy in another part of Berlin here. And that was the perfect springboard for him, so it felt. And he was worried coming into that because he missed out on a week or two of practice because he was in 95 rated mode. He seems like he's pretty good to me. There must have been points as well, Richard, over these last few days where he's looking over his shoulder and seeing big names fill up the tournament, and he must be thinking,
this is my time.
I've just got to focus on myself here. Let me just get through each game at a time, and the bigger names just kept on falling and falling and falling.
Yep.
Agreed.
And he will be thinking to himself, what sort of a scoreline can I build in a grand final? It's never happened before.
He's a perfectionist as well. He won't be happy with 6-0, I'm sure. We saw him in the previous game against Sharif, even those chances late on, ball goes to the wrong side of the post. He's still analysing it and looking over it, and I'm sure he wants to keep going and scoring as many as he can.
And the honest truth is that we just haven't seen even a shot registered from Yuval by this point. Hasn't been able to really get in the box more than 2 or 3 times of Anders.
Just sometimes feel as though when you're in tournaments, Ryan, I know you've played in many over the years, you step into a final or a semi-final and it just feels like it's one game too many.
Yeah,
if this final were played tomorrow, fresh night's sleep.
Perspective.
Yeah, is it just one game too many for him today?
It's a difficult one because he's probably, Yuval's on a high.
Just off the back of an 8-7 pace shootout, though.
It is difficult. Sometimes your adrenaline is flowing. You're sort of in a different tempo when playing the game, and you know, to try and reset in that short period of time against Anders.
He's played an extra day. He will play on Wednesday, 4 playing matches.
10 games, I think, even up to this point,
Yeah.
Richard, he had to play Yuval.
He's 9-1. He's only defeat coming to Hezers. Soon to be 9-2, sorry, Yuval.
Anders still not fully happy with a 6-0 lead. He'll want a clean sheet as well.
It's emphatic, isn't it?
And if he hasn't already gained your respect, certainly should now have a performance like this and a dominant display here in Berlin. He will be the first name in the history books of this FC Pro World Championship win.
Yuval's got so much to be proud of, though, as
Absolutely.
well. Coming through the play-ins, knocking out huge names.
I think for him as well, we know that online, I keep having to reiterate this,
absolutely.
online, he was that guy online. In those tournaments, he performed extremely well. In person, he never really got going.
7 goals to 0. What are we witnessing? Greatness.
Perfection.
Just a dribbling there into Saka, green time. It's a formality at this point. We obviously know what the final result will be.
Think that's a little bit of realisation?
Surely it has to hit him at some point here, Ryan.
I think it hit him before, to be honest. But he was screaming to himself. But he knows now. And it's an important moment for him. Because, of course, there'll be a lot of people that were saying, obviously, he'd done it in years gone by online. He wasn't able to compete because he was too young. And
he's done it in 2v2.
He's done it in 2v2, hasn't done it in 1v1. That changed last week. And, of course, he's come on this week. And he's cemented himself in the books forever. And
his story is just ridiculous. As you said, if you don't know Anders Vejrgang, went 536 games unbeaten in Weekend League on Ultimate Team. He had 80,000 people that watched that last game and he did lose. And since then, he's just created a huge name for himself every time he plays his box office. But he's also just so good at this game. Yuval still just trying to get nothing more than a consolation here.
On raw ability, Ryan, just on the sticks, not talking achievements or just straight up.
He's number 1. I'm not even going to let you finish
the best
number 1
you've seen.
I'm going to say Levy as well. Levy I say has that sort of talent, but Anders has shown it today on a ridiculous level.
Just see a nod of approval to himself on the right-hand side.
Is he agreeing with Ryan? None of his games have even been close today.
No.
7-2 quarter-final, 6-0 semi-final. And he's potentially on to win a grand final. 7-0.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the big championships that we've had the opportunity to commentate, a lot of them are quite cagey games for the most part.
Compare this to the FC Pro Open final.
Yeah.
They went all the way right down to the very end. Last few in-game minutes before we crown a world champion here in Berlin. What a story it is for that young man. Finally, he has that world champion trophy. To back up the ability that he has as being the best FC Pro player in the world. And I'm sure we'll be silencing a lot of those doubters online as well that tune in every time he's in. It's been Anders Vejrgang here in Berlin. He's been box office, but you've been able to watch it for free every single round he's gone through. And in time of 1 minute, this is his moment. This is his World Championship victory. Anders Vejrgang is your FC Pro World Champion.
Unbelievable. Flawless FC from Anders Vejrgang. It was expected when he came into the scene, but it doesn't always live up to reality. He has fulfilled his potential on the grandest stage of them all.
Sensational from Anders. As you said, he's fulfilled his potential. He'll get his hands on the trophy in a moment's time. Of course, a quick word for Yuval. Commiserations, a top player, but he just came up against somebody on the top of his game in Anders.
From the thousands that signed up online and competed all around the world, it was all about getting to this stage here in Berlin, where only 32 of the best could get there. Days of action, years of practice, but now he has his moment. Anders Vejrgang, FC Pro World